And in rebooting, obviously, the relationships are always a little different every season. But this season especially, I mean, you're meeting your adult daughter. So can you talk a little bit about that meeting, what that looks like, how that was to film, the progression?
The whole, like, I'm finding the relationship is like a really difficult one to navigate because, I mean, I keep kind of going, I don't quite know where to start. And I'm not going to speak for Georgina, but I think she feels the same way because you sort of want to be playing this, mother-daughter kind of thing and this, you know, the unconditional love that comes with that, but in the same breath, it's like a completely unknown person that you haven't grown up with and that you don't know, and you know, she's a woman now, like she's in her, you know, in her 20s. It's not like she's a teenager and still needs that coddling. So it's been I found it actually really tough. I think harder than it seems to me that Peter and Etta have kind of like fallen into very much like daddy's little girl, which I think happens too in life, you know, whereas mothers and daughters always have a little bit more of a complicated, complex relationship because you're both women and you understand each other in a different way, and you know what you're both sort of capable of. So that's been tricky. I keep sort of, I'm not a mom either, you know, but I keep trying to think of, you know, look at her and every now and then pick the moments where I see the little girl that I knew, you know, or her smell or some little thing that she does that's like really familiar, and then apart from that, really just treat her like a person that you're getting to know. Olivia's not the warmest of people anyway, you know.
That's the fact that, you know, what we saw established in the premiere is that, you know, Peter, he stayed behind and was still obsessed with finding her, and Olivia kind of moved on of it. Does that inform also the new relationship? You know, like she had let her go a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I think that informs Olivia and Peter's relationship this season, probably more than hers and Etta's. And I don't want to talk too much about that because we touch on that a little bit as we go along too. So definitely trying to kind of reconcile.
Is it funny, like every time a season works to bring you guys together, things start again and separate? Yeah.
Yeah, I think thank goodness, because otherwise we wouldn't be making Fringe. We'd be making like a family drama. That's all, you know. So yeah. Sorry, I just know that there's some really good bits coming up, and also because in the first episode we sort of really just only that scene. Is it still in there? I don't know. Where we're all standing looking out, and like, you know, right. So that's sort of like the first little taste, and that, you know, we pick that up again.
In the season premiere, we kind of see the Fringe team as a united front against the Observers. Mm-hmm. Does that stay united, like as we move into the episodes, or are there some fractures in between the relationships, you know, with Walter and Peter and Olivia? Does everybody stay united, or are there some issues they're working through between them?
Well, the common enemy stays the same so far to where we are, and then obviously, you know, there's trials and tribulations, you know, but we are still fighting a common enemy. I say that 5 times.
Does Olivia still have any special powers in the future?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, in the last scene of season 4, Walter says it's all out of your sister now. I don't know. I've been shot in the head twice.
What surprised you most about the season premiere? I mean, after you read it, what was the thing that really knocked you? Because I'm sure we all had several different moments that we...
This is why I wish I'd seen it, because it's such a funny thing, because you work inside it all the time, and so what you see, and then also what ends up, you know, in the cut too, is different. And you know, TV is like a collaborative, you know, medium, so lots of people have a say before it goes on to the air. So in reading it, I don't know, I guess it, because it's just I wasn't in 419, so for me it was just like, oh wow, we're in this completely new world. I think that was the biggest sort of, okay. how is this going to work? And for the first time, like when we were developing the alternate universe, I very much had a say in that because I was there from the start. And you know, you sort of throw things up, whereas that was like, it was just sort of done. And so even with what to wear and everything, it was kind of like you were sort of fitting into what, you know, in my mind, I always thought that Olivia just ended up in, you know, Etta's clothes. That's sort of essentially all she had to put on. So that was sort of the biggest shock. You know,
what's the biggest adjustment for Olivia in this new world? Like, what takes the most getting used to?
Probably dealing with a daughter that's only a couple of years younger than
Sure. I get it. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, the observers are scary. But she's seen them before.
How does her relationship with Peter evolve now? They sort of acknowledge that they're fractured. What happens from now on?
Well, there's, we touch on, or you sort of get a little bit of, not closure, but you get a little bit of information on what actually happened. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, it's like the time for them hasn't been that long. You know, they've been, you know, frozen in this state, and all of a sudden they're here and dealing with everything that there hasn't really been, they haven't had a chance to properly sort of, I don't know, deal with what it was like to be two parents grieving, you know, for a little girl. So they work through that in very Peter and Olivia style. Takes them a while.
Is Olivia 100% okay with her daughter being in some, frequently being in danger so much, or do the maternal instincts come out there at all?
I think that she's kind of, I mean, I think she essentially trusts her, and I think also that's the other bit with that relationship too, is that Olivia doesn't know this world, and Etta absolutely has more of a handle on what's going on, what the right protocol is, you know, how to do it. So essentially, she really is sort of the one that everybody's, you know, looking to for answers and following. So that sort of provides a little bit of a thing too, and like, oh, I can't have too much of an opinion on this because we need you and we don't know. And